Hello, math friends. Today we're going to find the distance between 2 points using the distance formula. When I think about the distance formula, I think about places where we might need to find distance. And one place that we need to find distance is when we're traveling. And a place where we can travel directly in a straight line between 2 points would be on the sea. So I thought it might be fun. This is my pirate friend's map to bring in my good old pirate friend. Say hello.
Hey, mateys. Welcome to me ship.
Oh, let's take a look at your ship, huh? Let's just take a look at it.
Well, shiver me timbers, ain't she a beaut?
She is a beaut. If we take a look at 2 coordinates on the map and we calculated the distance, could that be helpful to you when you're driving your ship on the big sea?
Would that be interesting? I'm not too good at the math, but I try it, of course.
All right, well, why don't you just watch away and see what you think, okay?
All right.
So if I have my distance formula here, which is it says that a distance is equal to the square root of the quantity x squared, or x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So what we have to do is we have to have 2 points. I have 2 points from our pirate map, and this we're going to call x1 and this one y1. Just our first, it wouldn't matter, but our first set of coordinates get the labels x1 and y1. And our second pair of coordinates are going to get the labels x2 and y2.
I think I've only seen X, like X marks the spot. This is kind of new.
You're right. It is a way to mark your secret treasure, but on a map, we can also use it as the first number in our set of coordinates. So we're going to fill our values in now. So D equals the square root of, and it tells us to fill in x2. x2 has a value of 6 minus.
I used to know a pirate that had 6 fingers.
6 fingers? That's disgusting.
Can you imagine that?
I cannot. And x1 is going to be 1, and we're going to square it. Plus, now we go to our y's, and it says y2, and our y2 is?
Minus 6.
Yes, very good. And negative 6 minus our y1, which is?
Minus 9.
Negative 9, and we're going to square that quantity. All right, so now we're just going to simplify. The first thing we have to do when we simplify is we have to make sure that we take care of the parentheses. So we're going to start with our 6 minus 1. What's 6 minus 1? How's your pirate math these days?
1 second, let me look at my toes. 6 minus 5.
5, very good. So we're going to have 5 squared plus negative 6 minus a negative 9. We're going to do a nice little trick that we've learned where we go stop, chop, chop. And we get negative 6 plus 9. Negative 6 plus 9 is?
3.
3. Oops, not sure what happened there. We get 3 squared. Now we're going to go ahead, we take square root of, or 25 squared, and we're going to get 5 times 5 gives me?
25.
25. Plus 3 squared. 3 times 3 is?
9.
9. And now we go ahead and add, what's 25 plus 9?
1, 2, 3, 4. 34, I think there is.
34. And we're going to take the square root of that 34. If we take the square root, we're going to get a decimal answer. So we don't know the exact distance, but we know very, very close that it would be about 5.8. The distance is about 5.8. What do you think? You think that that would be helpful if you knew on your map that you had to travel 5.8, say, centimeters, and then you could turn that into your miles? Do you think that would work for you, my dear pirate friend?
Well, I think it takes some practice, but yes, I think so, yeah.
I agree. I do think that it would take some practice, so maybe we should try one more. Hey, do you know any good pirate jokes that could get us going before we try the next one?
Well, I remember this one. I was in this bar and I saw this pirate, and he had a patch on his eye, and he had a peg leg, and he had a hook for an arm. So I asked him, I said, "Hey, pirate there, what's the deal with the peg?" He said, "Well, I was in a battle, and I was jumping into the ocean and a shark bit her off, and thus I have a peg for a leg.
Oh my, that's quite the story.
Well, that wasn't it. So then I asked the guy, why do you have a hook? And he said, well, it was in a pirate battle, and we were dueling with our swords, and he cut off my arm, and now I have a hook.
Oh, goodness.
And finally, I asked that pirate why he had a patch. And he said, a seagull pooped in my eye. And I was like, a seagull pooped in my eye? Why would you have a patch? Well, it was the first day with my hook.
Oh, man, that sounds like a pirate with some bad luck. Let's practice one more time. Let's take a look. This time I actually pulled up our coordinate grid that we could put onto our pirate map. We can think of our map as a coordinate grid, and then we can go ahead and use this to help us map out our path with our pirate ship. Are you ready?
Okay, I'll watch.
Okay, we're going to quickly grab our distance formula from over here too, because that's really helpful for us to be able to look at. Okay?
Lots of clicking in there.
There is a lot of clicking in there. Here we go. All right, so if we look at our 2 points, let's first go ahead and get the points off the coordinate plane. So this first one, I don't have to go right or left at all. So that's a 0 for my x1, we could call it. And then we have to go up 1. So y1 is up 1. So there's one of my points. And then my second point, I'm going to go right 2. So that's going to give me a positive 2 for my x2. And then I have to go down, which is going to be negative 1, 2, 3. So I get a negative 3. So that's going to be y2. So now I have my 2 points, and really this one works just like the one we had before. There's the extra step of having to use that coordinate plane, but you're going to have to do that when you read your map anyway.
Seems pretty simple.
Yeah.
Just plug them in now.
You're right, just plug them in. So we get x2 is 2, so we have the square root. And we have x2 is 2 minus x1, which is 0. And we're going to square that, plus my y2 is negative 3, minus my y1, which is 1. And we're going to square that. Now we just calculate away. 2 minus 0 is 2, and we're still going to have to square it. Plus, we're going to stop, chop, chop. I thought you'd probably kind of like that chop, chop part, huh?
Ooh, he choppies the arms off, yes.
And we have negative 4 squared, and then we're taking the square root. So 2 squared is 4 plus, and I should probably keep my parentheses around here because it's negative 4 that I want to square. Negative 4 squared gives me 16, and I have to take the square root. 4 plus 16 gives me
20.
20, and then I'm going to take the square root. So I go ahead and punch in 20, the square root.
Stop, chop, chop!
Oh, yeah, we don't need to stop, chop, chop right now. And you be careful, don't be doing any chop, chopping around me. So we end up with 4 and 47/100ths, which we can round to 4 and 5/10. So our distance between our 2 points, that straight line that you could travel with that ship, is going to be 4.5 units. And you know, this isn't the only map you use when you're a pirate. You could then start looking at your speed and do all sorts of good math calculations. So you should visit us again.
Well, thank you for the invite. Next time on port, I'll stop by.
Excellent. I hope you find lots of treasures.